This is the LTC GM023, and one look you'd immediately notice how grippy this would be. Despite its weight of 77 grams and its sensor being a PAW3104, I'm ultimately surprised how I'm even able to perform with this thing. It's crazy. Anyways, let's go over the nitty gritty. To start off, this is a tri-mode gaming mouse that connects via wired, Bluetooth, or low latency dongle. Again, this mouse weighs 77 grams, so it's on the heavier side of mice. I also have a video for the LTC GM025, which is this mouse's bigger brother at 88 grams total weight. But again, I did not have any issues with it, nor did it feel off when gaming. Initially, I thought gaming on this would be a disaster, but my right hand managed to adapt to the weight. This sports the PAW3104 sensor with a max DPI 4800 only, but I'm not sure who'd use a DPI above 4K anyways. Throughout my test, I had this at 1200 DPI, just so you know. Polling rate is 1000 Hz, so that was standard to casual gaming gear. LOD is really high, which is expected out of the lower tier sensor. And the tracking speed is appallingly low at 45 inches per second, so on paper, the sensor isn't very good. But practical use cases say differently, as you can see in my gameplays. This has a total of 8 programmable buttons, including scroll up, down, and DPI button. Its software has all you need from key binding, macro recording, and DPI customization. You may even save your settings to the cloud and re-download them some other time for another mouse. Any changes and customizations on this mouse would be saved in its onboard memory, so you don't need the software opened all the time. Let's move on. This mouse is offered in 2 color options, black and white. I got the white one because it looks best on camera. And right out of the box, I immediately noticed not only the hold shell, but also the very thick outer plastic, which adds up to its heft and durability. Looking at the sides, you get a textured surface for better grip, but we'll go over this in more detail later on. I was just feeling a tad bit excited to go over my first impressions. Anywho, you get the mouse, cable, and manual out of the box. Paracord cable was a neat addition, as this, my friends, is not cheap. When bought alone, almost at $10 a piece. The USB dongle is right underneath the mouse in case you're new to wireless mice and dongles. Then before use, remember to peel off the plastic sheet that protects its feet. I highly suggest you rub the underneath of your feet for about 5 minutes on a surface with a little bit of friction to sand down the feet and add a bit more stopping power. Oh, and about the feet, I think they're relatively thin, so I would replace them out of the box with dot skates before they wear off. Anyways, the switch is underneath along with the layer button to cycle through mouse profiles. Nicely done. In terms of button pre-travel, this does have some reasonable pre-travel, but not over the top bothersome level. Let's listen to the clicks here. The grip on this thing was done right. Angles are nicely implemented for the sides, and so are the dot grips. I don't think adding grip tapes are necessary, but you would find value in sticking some for the left and right mouse buttons. Lift-offs feel really stable on hand, and mind you, I have small hands, and this mouse has a semi-bulky frame, with a width of about 56 mils by the narrowest points of the mouse's sides. Also, length is total of 124 mils. Height is at 39 mils. So yes, not on the smaller side of the scale, but still worked for my baby hands. Claw gripping this thing is just fine, as even the clicks on the lower part of the button still actuates the micro switches. So small-handed claw grippers will still enjoy this shape. Onto the sensor, it felt surprisingly consistent without any jitters, or at least not at the level that bothers me enough to notice. Quick flicks do not cause spinouts at my DPI, and I felt no delay on the mouse throughout my testing via wireless dongle, and surprisingly, even via Bluetooth. And overall, I think the sensor is completely functional with a lot of rooms for improvement though. Again, my testing was in my usual DPI of 1.2K, so I think this DPI will do just fine. But any lower than that and you may feel the lack of tracking speed. And this goes out to the ultra-low sense gamers proud of their 400 DPI in a football field of a mousepad. Oh, speaking of mousepads, my main mousepad was actually gifted to me by LTC. They're made of tempered glass and really super smooth without the need for any kind of washing whatsoever. Upon first use, it's too slippery, yet upon total adaptation, I cannot game without it. Of course, links will be in the description below on where to get your LTC gaming gear. Comment your questions and I'll see you again next time.